Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. So yesterday, Colorado State came out and updated their numbers for the hurricane season. Today, NOAA updated their numbers, and the numbers just ever so slightly lower than what they had before. 13 to 18 named storms, 5 to 9 of those becoming hurricanes, and 2 to 5 major hurricanes. Of course, we've already had 4 named storms. We've now been all the way through Dexter. Dexter today downgraded to an extratropical or a non-tropical system, or post-tropical, however you want to phrase it. It is now working its way across the North Atlantic. So when you compare that to the numbers from Colorado State, which were released yesterday, and by the way, they did not change their numbers. This is basically a carbon copy of what they had in July, 16, 8, and 3. Pretty much everybody in that same ballpark, right around that 50% chance of an above average season. And you see those numbers just a tick above the average at 14, 7, and 3. So now that we're really heading into the meat of the season at August, September, that's when we really start to see a lot more activity. And we have been seeing some more areas to watch. We've got Dexter, which is now working its way on towards the North Atlantic, and that is now a post-tropical system. So it's lost those tropical characteristics. We're done with Dexter. They issued the last advisory for that system this morning, and then we've been watching off the east coast of the U.S. This one, interesting, because for a time it looked like maybe something would try and develop it, and we may still see something develop. It's probably going to take a little bit longer. And likely, if we see something develop, it's not going to be a purely tropical system. It's really looking more along the lines that it would be something maybe a little more subtropical if it develops. But it's going to be working its way away from land. So regardless if anything develops or not, doesn't matter. It's moving away from us. The other area that we're watching is this Invest 96. Yesterday I had some pretty good convection with this. It's just a wave that's working its way on towards the west. And again, this one's going to take some time because you see where this is now, and this is the development zone. It's going to be dealing with some of that dry air as it continues to work its way on towards that northwesterly direction. But if it can hang on long enough, maybe we see something trying to develop. So here's that area off the Carolina coastline. Watch this with the Fox model as we go through the next couple of days, because you are seeing more convection. You're certainly seeing an area low pressure, but this is looking a little bit more elongated, not a perfectly symmetrical system where you're seeing a lot of this convection wrapping around. You're seeing this little tail here. So that's why this is looking a lot more like maybe a subtropical system as this continues to work its way away. Now, this is not something that the Hurricane Center is highlighting. This is just a tropical wave, a trough of low pressure that is over the Bahamas, and it's working its way towards the state. So that's going to really help to up our rain chances as we go through the next couple of days. You see that deep tropical moisture working its way over the state. So we're not talking about a tropical development with this system as far as a depression or a storm. We're just talking about a bunch of rain heading in our direction as we head through today and really over the next several days. We're going to have those rain chances 60, 70%, maybe up to about 80% at times. And then this works its way into the Gulf. And of course, anytime you get these waves working their way into the Gulf, we're going to watch it, make sure something doesn't develop. But at this point, not seeing any signs of that, but eventually some of that drier air will start to work its way back in over us as we head towards Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So that will drop those rain chances back down to that more typical, say 40 to 50% chance once all this really deep tropical moisture works its way by. So here we are shifting out into the far eastern Atlantic. There's that Invest 96. Not a whole lot of convection with this system right now. It's also dealing with some of that dry air, but watch this on the Fox model. As we go through the next couple of days, continues on that west-northwest, eventually northwesterly track, pushing a little bit further into the middle of the Atlantic. Still looks like it could be dealing with some of that dry air, but if it can hold on long enough and get away from some of that dust, find itself into an area where conditions are a little more conducive, we may see something trying to develop with that. So that's why we're going to watch that very closely. And in addition to that, we continue to watch just more of these tropical waves working their way off the coast of Africa. So we're really starting to get into this time where we're going to see a lot more of this activity. And we're going to keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.